And now on Radio Free UK, we have an item from Alan Taylor Shearer's own podcast, Alan's Antics. This is entitled Police, Use of Social Media.
Over the last couple of weeks, you may have noticed that we here at Radio Free UK have been focusing on the police and their use of social media and how they abuse social media. Just check out the story about what happened to Paul Perrin at the hands of the Met LGBT network on Twitter. I was wondering what the policy was and how the social media access, etc. was, and I was sure that there should be some kind of briefing or some kind of training, etc. And the Police Foundation, Improving Policing for the Benefit of the Public, at www.police-foundation.org.uk, have produced the briefing, and they produced this back in June 2014. So it's been in place for a couple of years now, and it's called The Police Use of Social Media. Here's a quick introduction. Social media, a growing form of internet-based communication interfaces with all areas of policing. It offers the police a way of connecting and engaging with the public. It enables important information to be distributed quickly and easily. And it can assist in intelligence gathering with its growing impact and reach. Social media presents real opportunities but also poses challenges and is increasingly seen as a game changer from the police. This briefing discusses the ways in which social media can help the police, provides examples of where it's been used to positive effect, and looks at the challenges of employing this new technology. It focuses on the police service's use of social media rather than the policing of social media or the use of social media by police and crime commissioners. So there must be different training for them then, because as we've witnessed ourselves and as the hashtag #JeSuisPaulPerrin has taken on a little bit of a life of its own, and has Paul discovered the police do use it incorrectly. So there's lots of information in here about how the police should be using social media, and one of the things that stands out is they have 3 objectives with the use of social media. And those objectives are providing information, enabling specifically targeted information to be shared quickly, easily and cheaply. 2, engagement, providing the police with a way of connecting and building relationships with local communities and members of the public, and probably intimidating them as well. And intelligence and investigation, allowing the police to listen to what their communities are saying and to build evidence for investigations by monitoring social media content. So, is it going to be passed into law that social media content is now going to be admissible as evidence? That's the big question. If you write something in cyberspace, does it become a piece of evidence if it gets involved in an investigation? Let's say that the police find this particular tweet whilst they're out there searching and doing their investigating. Does that tweet become evidence? And in which case, where does it belong? And who does it belong to? Does it belong to the person who wrote it? Does it belong to the police? Does it belong to the social network on which it's been written? Or does it belong to the holder of the server who is controlling all the data on the server? Lots of things like that to be ironed out, because who owns these things? So that's their 3 main reasons for using social media, and then they go on to give some great examples of how social media has been used to sort of solve crimes and all that kind of stuff, and they say wonderful things about it. Some of the challenges in social media for the police: getting the tone right. Well, they clearly failed, didn't they, the LGBT network the other week? But the information which is given to them by the policefoundation.org is information placed by the police on social media needs to be relevant and useful, and not violent, virulent, pathetic and attacking. Posts which appear to be of limited practical benefit can leave the public with the impression that the police should be spending their time more fruitfully. The tone in which information is presented is also important, affecting the likelihood that it will be read and passed on, and the way in which the sender is viewed. Research has shown that different forces use social media differently. In an analysis of Twitter communication by the Metropolitan Police, the MPS, and Greater Manchester Police, the GMP, during the summer riots, the MPS, or Metropolitan Police, adopted a more formal approach, keeping its distance from the public, while GMP, or Greater Manchester Police, was more informal, connecting with the public using a more expressive style of tweet. The MPS, for example, would post the following: new CCTV images of people police need to identify on our Flickr page. Please look and RT. Whereas GMP's post stated, can you help identify these people? Check our Flickr gallery of wanted suspects and then call 0800 092 0410. The study found benefits and challenges in both approaches. GMP's more informal style created a closer relationship with the public, but as a result, boundaries were more fluid and easier to overstep. This can lead to a negative response from followers. For example, GMP tweeted, "Mum of two not involved in disorder, jailed for 5 months for accepting shorts looted from shop. There are no excuses." This triggered critical responses such as, "That last GM police tweet, wrong sentence, wrong tone, wrong everything, pissed away goodwill collected over last week." The research concluded that the MPS more formal style reduced the force's ability to connect as effectively with the public as GMP's approach, although the Twitter feed was found to be easier to maintain and less prone to negative feedback. Well, if you don't say anything, then you don't get any feedback. And as Met LGBT Network has found, they have bitten into the wrong apple because, yes, we're still going on about it, how Paul Perrin was intimidated by a police officer from the Metropolitan Police who just happened to be LGBT and was using their network and said some rather disturbing things on their Twitter account. Check out the story, which you'll find below. So the conclusions then for this information for police on the use of social network then. Their conclusion: social media provides the police with new opportunities to engage with the public, to collect and impart information and to gather intelligence. However, these opportunities come with challenges which are yet to be fully addressed. Currently, there is no national strategy on the police use of social media, and every force is left to develop its own approach. In March 2013, Deputy Chief Constable Gordon Scobby called for the College of Policing and ACPO to produce joined-up policy and embed the use of social media into policing. However, there are some potential changes in the pipeline. A digital communications steering group has been set up by the MPS to focus on key strategic social media issues, ranging from identifying the correct technology to deciding appropriate standards of usage, and the resultant report may help to clarify issues in this area. Work remains to be done on developing systems and strategies that help embed the use of social media into everyday working practices and ensure that lessons are learnt in terms of what constitutes best practice. Research into the public's perception of the police's use of social media may be of benefit, particularly if it helped to pin down what the public wants from a police social media account, how they view different types of tweets or posts, and what impact social media has on public confidence in the long term. With 87% of young people using social media, it represents a cultural form of communication now and in the future, and could become a vital element in helping to build trust and confidence and improve policing in years to come. Or you can do as the Met LGBT Network have done and just completely ignore all that information and take it, screw it up, file it under B, and just say what the hell you like about whoever the hell you like on Twitter.